I like Audis. I think they're one of the best cars on the road. I was chuffed to bits when Becky and I bought this one. It's a great car. And driving up and down from Cardiff to Stoke, I was really privileged to be in a great car, and I really like it. I like it when I'm driving up and down the motorway because I see businessmen in cars like this, and we're driving up and down and we stop and have coffee, and you see cars like this, Audis and BMWs and these big German cars, and it got me thinking about businessmen. And businessmen are amazing types of people. They're able to produce something out of nothing. There's a creative genius about them. There's a way of doing stuff and thinking beyond the restrictions that maybe you and I would think and live in. When I look at the story of Jacob, I see that Jacob was like that too. He was a shrewd investor. He made deals and he played bargains, and he always seemed to come out on top. He always seemed to come out in profit, even to the fact that he ended up with 2 wives. He was a smart cookie. He was a sharp character. He was a businessman. Maybe he drove an Audi or a BMW. I like Jacob. He was sharp. It's interesting, there's a parable that Jesus tells in the Bible about 3 servants, 3 businessmen, 3 investors that kind of work for a corporate company or a boss or a master. And the master went away and he gave one, let's say £5,000, and he gave the second, we'll call it £2,000, and he gave the third £1,000. And these 3 businessmen, these 3 investors, these 3 servants set about their business conduct. When the director of the company or the chief came back, or the master came back, he went to the first guy and the first guy said, hey, you gave me £5,000 and I've invested it, and the comeback on that has been pretty awesome actually. We've made £10,000. And the master, the director, was chuffed to bits. He said, that's it, that's the way we do stuff. That's it. And the guy with the £2,000 went to his master, went to the director and said the same. Hey, I know how you do things, I know how you conduct business, and I want to step up in this company, I want to advance, and I've turned the 2,000 into 5,000. And the master, the director, was chuffed to bits. Then there was another guy who had the £1,000 that said, hey, I knew that you were a sharp businessman, I knew that you were an investor, and I didn't want to let you down, so I buried the money. But I've dug it back up and it's here, £1,000. And the master, the director, he just said, hey, that's not how we do stuff. That's not how we operate. That's not on. And he took the £1,000 that the man had buried, he took it off him, and he gave it to the one who'd made and got £10,000. You see, we've got to learn something, that we have to utilise the gifts and the talents that we have, because if we don't, even what we've got will be taken away from us and given to somebody else. I'm really privileged to be leading Bethel City Church. It's a great church. And I see some great people in the church, and I see some great businessmen, some entrepreneurs, some Jacobs. And this parable teaches me many things. One of the things is, though, that I've got to make sure that we make the most of the talents and the gifts that are in the house. We've got to utilise that which God's given us, because if we don't, even what we have will be taken and placed elsewhere. So here's the deal. This is what we're believing for. We're believing for a Jacob factory. That the Jacobs can come together, those entrepreneurs, those businessmen, those people that can make something out of nothing. And we're going to input them and inspire them and talk about integrity and the stuff maybe that Jacob really didn't get right in life. And we're gonna sow some projects that they can muster up something out of nothing, so that the house can continue to advance and be built, and the kingdom can continue to prosper and flourish. And if that's you, if you're one of those Jacobs, I want to invite you to a lunch with me, with the leadership. We want you to come and hang out with us just for an hour. We'll give you lunch, great coffee. Thursday the 15th of May, 12:30 at Bethel City Church. We want you to come and listen to what we've got to say, because we're believing that the Jacobs in the house won't sit there dormant and at best be asked to look after the door or do the PowerPoint. But we want to utilize fully the gift that's in the house. And we want you to help us as a church to become that place that loves people for who they are and inspires them to become all that they can be. Jacob Factory, Thursday, 15th of May, 12:30, Bethel City Church. Love you to be there. Audis are great cars, eh?